What's good? Good morning. A few weeks ago, I posted a YouTube short titled A Mountain Dew and Anything Hot. I'll summarize it real quick because it's connected to this video. Over the last year and a half, I've watched this puppy grow up into an adult dog alongside a homeless gentleman that frequently is outside of the Safeway that I shop at. And uh, I've interacted with him a few times. I've given him change, I've pet his dog and whatnot. But that particular day, something compelled me to turn around after I'd already gotten inside to go ask him if there was anything he needed. And his response was, "A Mountain Dew and anything hot, please." To which I easily obliged. I went inside trying not to cry or hiding the fact that I was crying. And I bought my stuff and I bought him two Mountain Dews, a breakfast burrito, and a breakfast sandwich. And then I went out and I gave it to him and I asked if I could just sit down for a minute. He was a little, hesitant, understandably so. If you've not interacted with homeless or people who are, dealing with major traumas, yeah, they're skeptical of humans. It's tough. I have so much compassion for people. But anyways, okay. But he said sure, and so I sat down, and his pup sniffed me, and I started petting her, and she was like, "Oh, I like this," and so she decided to just sit in my lap. So his dog's just sitting in my lap, and I'm petting his dog, and talking to him a little bit, kind of asking about his situation. And I explained to him that, hey man, here's my situation. I live in a minivan. I'm not trying to brag or anything, but, I'm trying to find an affordable place. And if I can do so, I asked him if he's ready for help. And he said yes. And I believe him. That's the thing. I believe him. I can just tell that, there's a good soul in there. There might be some drug issues. I haven't discussed that yet, and that would need to be addressed. But maybe not. We'll see. I just, there's a soul in there. I know there is. And so, fast forward, uh, I see him again, and now I'm in this position. I can, awkward isn't the right word, but unpleasant, I guess. I'm getting unpleasant sensations around the idea of seeing him and then not having a solution. Because I told him I want to help him, but I don't have a solution. I don't have a place. It's gonna be a while, and I feel kind of bad. It made me think maybe I shouldn't have said anything. Um, I overanalyze everything, but anyways, so he didn't see me as I went inside the Safeway. I tried to wave, but I just instinctively bought him a Mountain Dew and something hot, because I had planned to go talk to him again. Just because it's been a few weeks. And I go outside and I give him, the bag with the Mountain Dew and the breakfast burrito in it. And his pup remembered me and recognized me. Um, and so I was like, "Oh, hey, you," and started interacting with her. And I asked again if I could sit down. And he was less hesitant this time around. He was like, "Okay, yeah, sure." And so I sat down. And this time, it was a different time of day. The first time I really interacted with him and his pup, it was later in the afternoon, evening. Today, it was early here in the morning. And so his pup had way more energy. So instead of wanting to sit in my lap, she was wanting to play with me, but she was conflicted. She was like, she initially sat in my lap, and I was giving her butt scratches, and then she's like, "Oh, but I have energy," and so she turned around and was like cobbing me, like dogs will cobb. So she was cobbing me, and she was playing. Um, and it was a bit of a distraction because he was trying to keep her under control, and so I was trying to help him, but at the same time, we were not bros because it's a female dog, but like we're bros. This dog and I. She loves me and I love her. Her name is Waffles, by the way. And so I caught up with him real briefly, but what do I even say? Like, hey man, I'm sorry I potentially got your hopes up, but it's going to be a while. I shouldn't have said anything in the first go around, but I don't think there was any weirdness. You know, I think I imagine he understands the situation, like, because he knows. He said the wait list is like 18 months for housing from the system. If you know anything about me, I fucking hate the system, and the system is not designed to actually succeed and to help people. Don't want to get into that here, but anyways, so that's what he said. And you know, a supervisor at my retail job, my supervisor, he's leaving, you know, because he needs to find a job that pays more. And he commented that he was like, I would love to have you as a roommate because I'm a great employee and I would be a great roommate. I'd be clean, I'd be quiet, organized, all the things. I know it doesn't seem that way because I look like a mess, but I'm going for the Socrates look and I think I'm succeeding. Anyways, this video is about, well, me and him, and how do we, like, what do I do when I see him? I feel so dumb that I said anything and got his hopes up. But like I had said, I'm pretty sure he understands the situation. And so when I left this morning and I said, you know, I'll let you go and stop getting your dog riled up, I said it was good to see you again. Um, and you know, he said, you know, you too, back. And it didn't feel forced. It didn't feel like fake. It felt human. You know, a big theme of my videos is that I don't feel like I have much community around here, and albeit community with a transient individual, I'm building some. And I'm not a Christian, but I do believe Jesus was a person and he did have a message. Um, you know, and I'm sorry, I'm getting emotional because life is heavy. Man, my soul, my body, my mind, everything's tired and heavy and groggy. But Jesus, uh, he'd be proud of me, I think, in what I'm trying to do. I mean, he'd be disappointed too because I do still sin. You know, I'm very far from perfect, but you know, I really feel like I'm, you know, when I ask myself what would Jesus do, I'm doing it in a lot of instances. And he would hang out with the homeless and the hookers, and he would, you know, preach a message of love and compassion and forgiveness, but also, like, yes, you're forgiven and you deserve compassion, but you also have a duty to do better. And I think that's the sort of paradoxical point of the message that gets lost in the bureaucracy of the Bible and of organized religion, which is bullshit. Um, yes, you are worthy of forgiveness, but once you sort of acknowledge and accept that, you kind of have a duty to do better. Um, and so it's very much, I love the yin and the yang, the concept of duality in that sense, or paradoxical things that sort of are connected. Uh, you know, and so I'm kind of rambling at this point. Let me just pause and wrap up. And so, if you're religious or if you're spiritual like me, I don't pray to God, I pray to the universe. Um, you know, it would be really cool to get some help to manifest. Let's call it a 3 bedroom place here in West Seattle. A room for me, a room for, I don't want to dox him, you know, but Waffles will say. And then a room for my supervisor, who's not going to be my supervisor soon because he's leaving the company. So, and then I'll pay a little bit more to help Waffles for a few months, but in manifesting it, it's got to be a good deal to start with. It can't just be a, you know, $3,000 3 bedroom place, which is kind of common in West Seattle. It would have to be like a $1,500 3 bedroom place, which is, that would be an absolute fucking bargain. But there are people here who don't need money. And then also, as I always state, I'm willing to work. Like, if there's work around the property that needs done, I'll mow the lawn, I'll maintain gutters, clean the roof, I'll clean the sidewalks, I'll wash the house, I'll paint. I'll fucking, I'll add you 200 square feet. You know, if you buy the supplies and materials, I'll do all the work, and we'll add 200 square feet to your house in West Seattle. Anyways, I'm gonna end the video here now. Thank you very much for watching. Please like, comment, share, subscribe. Let's build the new Earth together, because it is a group project. Much love.